Hey folks, Adam here. I have literally just recorded a half an hour video and basically I only to find out that I hadn't recorded the audio. So excellent. Well done me. That was a good start. Right, I thought I would do a video rather than writing. Because just because I'm kind of a video guy. So yes, that's what I thought I would do, and this is what this is. So what I'm going to talk about is very specifically, I'm going to talk about the where I'm at, what the general plan of attack is, and then just leave it open at the end to see if anybody wants to pop a comment on and say how you're doing. So obviously, I am classing myself currently as between contracts because with any sort of bid to do to work in the contract field, it's at the moment at least unlikely that you're going to be back to back to back with jobs. So from conversations that I've had with people, it's very realistic at the moment to expect that it might be two or even 3 months or more between contracts. So, and if you're lucky enough to get them back to back, fantastic. But I think I need to plan conservatively. So that's what I'll be doing. So, so I'm not hitting the panic button. I'm just classing myself at the moment as between contracts. So, what am I going to look for? Well, obviously, like I've just said, primarily contract. But having said that, it is a really crazy job market at the moment. It's extremely tough. So I think realistically, if a decent perm job comes up and it's something that I can do, and they will, they're willing to give me a go, either in something that I've got a lot of experience in, or it might be the old transferable skills. If they're willing to give me a go at something, and I can see that it's something I think I could do, and we can make the money work, then fantastic. Let's go for it. Pretty flexible, to be honest, at this point in time. And then if it looks like it's going to go the full distance of 2 to 3 months, which I mean I think realistically it will, what I may also look at doing is, and this is partly to bring some extra money in, just so I'm not entirely living on savings. But the other thing is just for something to do to keep me engaged and to stop me sort of going mad and climbing the walls, would be maybe to look at something part time as well. So and it would have to be just very very light, 1 to 2 days a week, 10, 12 hours at the most, something like that. Because I would want to keep a good solid 3 days for continuing to look for the actual full job that I want to do. And obviously, wherever it is that I work, they're going to have to be sort of understanding and flexible that I may only be there for a couple of months. But if that's something that I'm considering. So it's considering looking at. That's not to say that that actually does even exist, but it's something that I might look into. So that's my general plan. And then in terms of the approach, I think it's pretty. The kids, my kids would actually describe the job market as cooked, which is a turn of phrase I'm hearing a lot at the moment. And the job market is indeed cooked, because, for example, if we look at, let's go to jobs. Here we go. Let's pick a few. Da, da, da. Right. Change delivery manager. Okay, and this one's remote, so that's great because it doesn't matter where you are in the country. You can hopefully do this role. 9 hours ago, 16 people clicked apply. That's actually pretty cool. So I think let's just click that one and save. Right, so that actually, ironically, that's actually not too bad. So my first click, so I'm probably going to throw my name in the hat for that one. But let's have a look at some more. Transformation change. Most of the change manager roles are of the business or organisational change type. I must admit I've probably got a preference on it being an ITSM change manager at this point. But if we just click one, for example, here, let's have a look at this. This is what I was expecting to see. Over 100 applicants. It's remote and it's contract, which is great. I'm going to save that because I'm going to throw my name in the hat. But I think that I'm going to do this. So this is how I'm going to approach it. However, realistically, and if I was a betting man, my guess is that this kind of thing, and this is without wanting to be negative here, but my guess is that this traditional method of search for a job, find one that you're interested in that you think you could do, apply for it, and go from there. I just think is kind of like flogging a dead horse at this point. Again, I don't want to be negative, but it's that's just how it feels. So if I'm looking at here, and most of them will say over 100 applicants, um, and the odds of outgunning 100 other applicants when it may not even be that there's a person looking at your CV. It may be some kind of automatic scan in the first instance. I don't know. I mean, you could argue that somebody's got to get the job, right? But so it's kind of always worth at least clicking on apply. But I think in terms of expectation, I'm doing it really just to do it, just to go through the motions. On the off, it's a little bit like trying to win the lottery, right? I buy a lottery ticket. I know I'm probably not going to win, but you never know. Something might happen, and it's exactly the same with this kind of thing. Traditional job hunting, looking for a job. It's the same thing as a lottery ticket. You're probably not going to get anywhere with it, but hey, if you don't do it, then you never know. So I am going to do that. That is obviously one traditional technique that I've got. The other one that I've tried to do is register with agencies, but I found that's a bit of a mixed bag at the moment. I've still got the traditional model in my head from like 15 plus years ago, where you register with somebody, and then you actually go into the local office, sit in front of somebody, talk about the kind of jobs that you're looking for. They have a search on their system. They pull up three or four, and then they put you forward for some, and they try to wangle you an interview, and you normally get an interview with one or two of them. And you go from there. That doesn't seem to exist at the moment. How it seems to work now is you can still register with the agency, but it's all online. You register, you get an email saying thanks for registering, we'll be in touch, and then that's it. You don't hear anything ever again, which is just kind of a bit of a sad state of affairs. But hey, it's where we're at. It's how the market is. So let's just kind of roll with it for the time being. There's not much else we can do, right? So again, that is something that I will do. But much like the direct application, let's have a look at this one again. 6 days ago, over 100 applicants. Change lead. 2 weeks ago, over 100 applicants. If I apply for these, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. That's just being really honest and open and realistic. Now, what? So my main tactic, which I think everybody should do. Well, no. Let me rephrase that. I would suggest that this is what people should do, and certainly this is what I'm going to do. And it is just to make a list of people that you've worked really well with in the past, and if they're still at companies that you previously worked for, then great. That's a bonus, because it means that not only do you get on with that person, but you've also got experience of that company. And or they're at a completely different company, but you got on well with them. Reach out to them. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I've got, and it's not a massive list. I think I've got a list of somewhere between 15 to 20 names of people that I've worked really well with in the past, that are either still at the companies that I worked at, or are at other similar types of companies where I've never worked, but I can see that there's a kind of a pattern in the types of companies. And that is not a big list either. So there's about 15 to 20 people, and they are spread over, quick count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 companies. And of this 8, I think I can see 4 of them where, if I was a betting man, I would bet money that I'm going to end up at one of those 4 companies, based on the strength of all the stuff that I've just spoken about. Connections, network, working relationships, friendships, just everything. It's networking. I think is the way to go, and it's the model of get in touch with these people, be flexible, explain that, it's not just the similar jobs that I was known about in the past. I'm open to other jobs, and hopefully, as and when they'll say, "Oh yeah, we've got something," and then you get connected with a person, you get your CV over there, you do the application. You still have to apply. Um, this is very unlikely to be that magic ticket these days, but that's fine. But at least that way, if I can get to the interview stage, I can stand half decent chance of getting it. I can sell myself pretty well if I get to the interview stage. If I don't get to the interview stage, well, obviously at that point you don't go anywhere. So yeah, so that's it. So general plan of attack is contract or perm, open to both. A little bit of a preference on contract, but that's only because I'd like to keep that up. But hey, I needs must, right? The job market's a weird one at the minute. And if it looks like it's going to run longer than a couple of months, which I suspect it probably will, probably look for some kind of a part-time job in the meantime. And I will do the traditional thing, looking online, finding jobs through LinkedIn, finding jobs through Indeed and all of that stuff. And I'll apply for them, but I don't expect anything to come of it. I think I'm just literally going through the motions in that respect. It's like a lottery ticket. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna get the job, just like I'm not gonna win the lottery. But you've got to be in it to win it. So if you don't do it, you definitely won't do it. So it may be only a 0.0001% chance, but at least you're in the running if you do it. So I'm pretty confident I won't get a job though by applying for something on LinkedIn or going through an agency or looking up a job on job site or Indeed or anything like that. I just think that method is just it's just dead at the moment. It's just completely useless. But what I think will come to pass is that it'll be by the fact that I've connected up with somebody that I've previously worked with, and they've been able to get my CV in front of an actual person and have an actual conversation and probably help to set up that first interview, and then we can go from there. That's how it's going to happen. I'm 95% sure of it, and I'm pretty sure based on that. I'm almost sure I know. Well, like I say, it's got to be one of these companies that I'm looking at now, which I'm not going to read out because obviously that would be a bit weird. But yeah, I'm looking at this short list of companies, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of those. And I'm pretty sure I know which ones are the most likely. So yeah, so that's my general plan of attack. So let me know in the comments what you think, whether or not you agree or disagree, whether you think that I'm just kind of not approaching it right, and just let me know what your plan of attack is. All right, folks, take care.